Peace, peace, Black people. How is everyone doing tonight? Welcome to Yemima's World, the Jelly Mooses Cafe. I am your hostess, Yemima. You can see me a little bit, not much, but you can see me. So, let's get into it because I don't want to belabor this any longer. As you can tell by the title, it's called Juneteenth Shenanigans Part 2. I have an episode that I recorded about Saturday's Juneteenth shenanigans, and I was invited to speak to another one today, at another one today, and I was excited to go. I couldn't wait because I was like, it can't be as bad as the one on Saturday. No way, no how. But you Black people never disappoint. It was just as bad. Ah. What do you mean, Jemima? It was bad. It was bad because it had nothing to do with Juneteenth. That's why it was bad. So let me paint the picture for you. I was asked by a woman, and I won't say her name, but I was asked by a woman to come at the last minute. Now, mind you, we've known since 2020, since Schittler, 45, Donald Trump, let his thin lips say the words Juneteenth. We've known that Juneteenth happens every year now on June 19th. So you've known this since last year, at least. So of course I get the call, 3 days before the event that you want someone to come. You need to check a box. You don't have this on your program, and you kind of need to have this a little bit, So I get this call that they want me to present Harriet Tubman at this Juneteenth celebration. And I'm excited because I love telling Harriet Tubman's story. And so I'm excited about this. I even had a conversation with the woman who was hosting the event. And we talked briefly on Tuesday, and she kind of told me what she wanted me to do. She wanted me to be on deck for 90 minutes, not consistently, but for 90 minutes to be in the program. And the way that we had put it together was that I would kind of interweave stories from Harriet Tubman into whatever she had going on. For example, when she had the drummers playing, after the drummers, I would do like 5, 10 minutes and talk about how the drums were taken from us when we were on the plantation in the character or in the voice of Harriet Tubman. So she said, "Oh, that's beautiful." She told me what they had going on. They were going to have a fashion show, an African fashion show, and a DJ and gospel singers and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, I said, well, perfect. I said, I can do, 10 minutes in between those acts and definitely merge the past and the present together and give people a sense of the freedoms that we have now that they didn't have. I was so excited. I was just going over it in my head, like, oh, this is going to be, I'm loving it because I love to entertain, but I love to educate. I like to educate more than I like to entertain. But I thought I could do both together and it was going to be perfect. So I thought. So I thought. So I get there. The event was from 1 to 7. I get there around 12:30 because again, I want to find a place to park. So 1 o'clock, of course, it didn't start because we are on CP time. So the event didn't start till maybe 1:30 before the event started. And of course, the first thing they do, you have to have the two Bob's permission before you can do anything in this country. If you're black, you have to have the two Bob's permission. You can't have an event, and if they give you permission to have the event, then they have to speak first. So the white mayor and the white co-mayor, or whatever the hell they call him, got up to speak, and they were just so we're all in, with this Juneteenth celebration. We are all in. And then he started rambling because he doesn't know what Juneteenth is. So he started rambling. And when white people start to ramble and they don't know where they're going with it, they end up saying, so anyway, and that's exactly what he said. So anyway, and then he kind of wrapped it up. One of the things that they had there, which I thought was amazing, was they honored the class of 1969, who were the first African Americans to integrate the schools in Williamsburg. And so they had those that were able to come to be presented with a plaque. And I thought that was really cool. You know, you have living history there. So I said, okay, I like this. I like this. And so after that, they did that presentation. Then they had the drummers to come up and to do some drumming. And one of the ladies that was a drummer, she was definitely Pan Africanist. She got up and she was trying to teach the crowd the song Funga Alafia. And so I know the song because I teach it to my students. And she was going around the crowd trying to get them hyped up. And nobody was paying her any attention. They were looking at her like she had two horns going out of her head. And she came over to me because I was singing along with her. And so she came over to me and she pulled me up, and her and I both kind of went out in the crowd. Now, mind you, I'm in my Harriet Tubman dress. So I'm going around through the crowd helping her teach fungi alapia. And the crowd was just so disassociated with it. They just didn't get it and they didn't want to, didn't care. And so after the drummers, I was expecting to go up to talk about the drummers. Um, And when she pulled me up to sing with her, I took it upon myself to pour libations because they had not done that. And so I poured libations and I got on the mic and I just explained libations and then I sat down. But I was expecting to go back up after um, the drummers, but I didn't. And so they had a couple of more things. They had the fashion show, which was beautiful. They were dressed in African colors. The clothing were not authentic to Africa, but they were African colors. And it was nice. The a black fashion show is phenomenal. So I won't mad with them at all with that. It was really really nice. So I was expecting to go back up after the fashion show, but I didn't. And then they had, I believe it was a girl that she did a dance, and it was beautiful, beautiful dance. Now, uh, didn't have anything to do with Juneteenth, but it was a beautiful dance. And so I said, well, maybe I'll go up after her, but I didn't. So then they had the crowning of Little Miss and Little Mister Juneteenth. And they had another young woman who has been crowned Miss National Juneteenth. So she's Miss Juneteenth in all of United States. I didn't know that there was a thing, but there is, and she's it. And so she did. They crowned the little ones, the new Miss Little Mr. and Miss Juneteenth, and then finally I got to go up, and I did 7 minutes, basically talking about what Juneteenth really meant to our ancestors and what freedom really mean or meant to our ancestors and what it should mean to us. And I think when I said, if you just came here to have a good time and party, then you've missed the whole point of Juneteenth. And you probably still don't even know what it is. And I think when I said that, I pretty much kind of shot myself in the foot. I'm thinking, she ain't gonna have me come back up here no more. So she went on with the festival and they were doing other things. And they had a soul train line because every black party got a soul train line. So they had the soul train line. I thought I said, well, if I get to go up again, that I can talk about how the soul train line was simply the ring shout, except it wasn't a complete circle, but it was a ring shout. And so I talked to the lady who was the person who got the festival together. And I said, well, let me get up there so I can talk about the ring shout. I said, you know, the ring shout, right? And she said, is that when they got married? And I was like, bitch, what? Really? That's what you think the ring shout is? So it kind of dawned on me that you don't know what Juneteenth is either. You have no clue about our ancestors. You are going back as far as maybe 50, 60 years. But beyond that, you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. And so I sat there and she didn't bring me back up again. And so I'm just sitting there and I'm observing and I'm just looking around and I see what I could probably see in every Black community in the summertime on any given Saturday or Sunday, a cookout. I saw a cookout. I saw somebody playing music. I saw people on the grill. I saw aunties sitting around laughing and talking. I saw uncles arguing about old times. I saw the kids playing, throwing the ball around. I saw a cookout. And that's what we have reduced Juneteenth to, is a cookout. And it's sad. I saw people with their Juneteenth t-shirts on and their Juneteenth hats, and they all were wearing the RBG and the yellow, green, and red flag colors and things of that nature. I saw one flag that was the original Juneteenth flag, and you know who booth it was? And it's really sad that you didn't learn about Juneteenth until 45. Shitler, Donald Trump, said something about it in 2020. And he gave you the go ahead to celebrate Juneteenth. And then the next white man, Biden, Uncle Joe, really gave you permission because thanks to Miss Oprah Lee, he signed it into law that it would be a federal holiday. So now Trump uh, opened your eyes to what it was, and then Biden gave you permission to celebrate. And that's all you do is you have a cookout and celebrate. Nobody read the Declaration of Juneteenth at all. Nobody talked about when it started, what happened, why it's Juneteenth, why it's called Juneteenth. Nobody talked about the foods that they have at Juneteenth. Nobody talked about any of that. None of it. It was a cookout with a whole bunch of white folks running around. It was mostly Black people, but there were some white people running around. A few brothers running around with their snow bunny queen, as Dr. Umar would call them, their snow bunny queen, proud as punch. I don't know if I'll do another Juneteenth festival. No, I lie. I will. And the reason that I will is because even if they just give me 10 minutes, they'll pay me for an hour, hour and a half. But you just give me 10 minutes on the microphone, and I promise you, I'm going to open the eyes of a few people. It might not be everybody, but somebody in that audience is going to hear me and they're going to understand what Juneteenth is. All I need is 10 minutes. That's it. Just 10 minutes. But these Juneteenth shenanigans must stop. They must stop. And then when Joe Biden signed the holiday as a as a federal holiday, white people went to work. Let me tell you what they went to work on. They went to work on manufacturing t-shirts, hats, shorts, tableware, flags, door coverings, car things you can put on your car, um, jewelry. They went to work on manufacturing all of that stuff because they knew Black people were going to, they knew it. And so all you have done is allow white people to once again capitalize on slavery. because you can't have Juneteenth without slavery. And so I saw everybody just about had on their Juneteenth t-shirt. And you ain't buying from Junebug down the street that got his printing shop out of his house. You ain't buying from him. No, 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 no. You bought it from Amazon or Shine or Temu or Roses or Walmart. But you ain't buying from the guy down the street that makes t-shirts, that has a t-shirt business. No, you bought those Juneteenth t-shirts from, again, places I just named. And so all you've done is taken your Juneteenth freedom money and given it right back to the descendants of those that enslaved our ancestors. I'm tired of talking about it. I ain't gonna talk about it no more. That's it for me for Juneteenth. I'm not giving any more lessons online. I'm not talking about how you guys are not celebrating it the way that it's supposed to be celebrated. The ancestors will take care of that. So you go right ahead and you keep having your what do you call it, your cookouts and your parties, you know. And so until next time, you know the drill. Love yourself, love each other. Give yourself some grace. Give each other grace. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay black. Until next time.